I got to say, I don't get it. I don't. I just don't know how they do it again and again and again. But Chennai Super Kings just brings it home, no matter what the situation is. They won another game. They were at top of the table, so they're still at the top of the table. That doesn't change much. And what doesn't change as well is how they manage to stay cool, and they have somebody or the other who picks up his hand and gets the job done for them. Today it was Suresh Raina. This is MPL Presents Cricbuzz Live. I have Simon Doull and Michael Vaughan here with me. It's just everything we said in the pre-show about them. It's just true again and again.
Yeah, they just keep doing it. They don't panic. The other side seem to panic under pressure against them. Someone who, I thought Jadeja's innings was crucial at the back end. He bowled poorly tonight by his standards, went for runs, but he turns around and wins it with the bat for them. And Suresh Raina coming back into form. They find a different person each game generally that just has the wherewithal and just the calmness to get them home. It's quite incredible.
Yeah, there's, no fuss, no fancy. That's how they play their cricket, right?
Yeah, and KKR, they'll be in the dressing room thinking, who could we have bowled differently and what tactics did we bowl too straight to Suresh Raina? Yes, they did. He glanced too many, particularly early, but they lost it with the bat. They should have got 25, 30 more runs. The Calcutta Knight Riders, if they'd got that, you'd have fancied them to have won the game. So at the moment of loss, you always look at what you've just done. So they've just been in the field, so they'll be kind of looking at tactically where they could have improved in the field, but they lost it with the bat.
They got 12 runs in the last 3 overs when they were batting. So obviously, a 160-odd total is never going to be enough, especially at Eden Gardens. But what could they have done differently with the ball, even towards the end? It seemed like at the 15th, you were still going, all right, maybe half-half. Maybe they've come into the game, Dhoni's gotten out. Could something happen?
Yeah, I think their tactics were probably pretty poor to Suresh Raina as a rule. Prashid Krishna, I think, has got the right idea, but you cannot bowl to Suresh Raina without a fine leg or even a leg slip. If you're going to bowl that line to him, I'd say early on, bowl with a leg slip and then still a reasonably fine leg. If you're going to bowl in at the hips, because he just walks across everything and tucks it away. Now, if he's then prepared to go to the leg side and try and hit you over point or over third man, good luck, because that's a risk. That's the risk he needs to take. But why bowl to a field or bowl to a batsman on his hip and not have a field set for that particular bowling? I don't get that. I think that's where they lost it a little bit there. And then I know it's not Piyush Chawla's fault. I totally agree with what Vaughan said as far as 25 runs short. But to come in the last over and bowl 120k quicker ball first up and not float anything up, not try and go past the outside edge, not try and pick up a wicket, didn't make a lot of sense.
But also Harry Gurney in the 19th. He is renowned for bowling back of the hand, slowies and cutters. The first ball of the over, he bowls a back of the hand slowie. Raina hits it down the ground for 1. And then he just put pace on the ball. He put pace on Jadeja, came and smashed him down the ground. Then he got one away over third man. Again, if that's a slow ball, that doesn't travel to third man. It's probably caught at short third man where he had his fielders. So I don't think he quite got it
right.
He
looked for that Yorker, didn't he, that was quick as well. That got turned away. So
he gave away, 16 in that 19th over?
Yeah, that was
24 to win. 24 to win in 2 overs. You're going, all right, man, we can still do this.
Yeah, I think in T20 cricket, you've got to ask the batsman to play great shots. And I just thought the last few overs, they panicked. What did CSK do? Didn't panic. They just knew, they know exactly how to win games. They know that they've got players, they've got the mentality, the experience, the want to be out there at the end. And that's crucial. When you've got 6 or 7 players that really want to be out there winning the game for your team, it's no surprise to me that CSK win so many games of cricket.
Yeah, and the team that doesn't panic will just enforce the unforced errors from the other team, and that's what they seem to do repeatedly, time and time again. Well, for KKR, things are not looking good. They've now lost 3 in a row. Let's have a quick look at the points table. CSK, it looks like they may just qualify in another couple of days.
Yeah, and all the other teams are happy with that, though. All the other teams want CSK to run away. Look at that logjam. 4 wins, 4 wins, 4 wins, 4 wins, 3 wins, 2 wins. Let's not talk about RCB at the moment. But, all those teams are still well within a chance. Even Rajasthan Royals at the moment, although they feel like they're a long way off, the second team has only got 2 more wins than them.
Yeah.
So they don't feel that bad. They want Chennai to just continue to win and run away with it.
We'll fight for the other 3.
We will fight for the other 3 spots. And so that logjam in the middle is going to become more intense as this tournament goes on, which is great for television. It's great for us. We've plenty of things to talk about, plenty of situations that we can come up with, and who might qualify, who might not qualify. And everybody just wants Chennai to run away with it.
Yeah, and looks like Chennai are running away with it, whether we want it or we don't. They're at 12 points already. 16 is good enough. Sorry, 14 points already. So one win really away from qualifying. You're like one win and you're set. And wow, that is quite incredible. Well, Suresh Raina did really well today. We spoke about him before. They needed him to put his hand up to do something special. He did that today. And that's the reason why he is our MPL hero of the match. 58 of 42. The asking run rate was never bizarrely high, so that's a good strike rate. You take that close to 140. More importantly, just kept his calm. And as we always say, has that little dot next to his name, he is not out.
Yeah, I mean, and MS Dhoni generally has been that player, not out at the end. So for someone else to be not out, and with Jadeja playing the little cameo that he played beautifully, that CSK, as if they need any more confidence. As if they need the ties blown up anymore. Well, there's only Shane Watson that you look at in that team that's struggling.
Yeah.
The rest of them, you feel that they're just going about. There's no Bravo. Bravo's sat in the dugout with his shorts on, having a chat to the coach, Stephen Fleming. He will be back in possibly a week's time. So I don't see CSK getting any worse. It's up to the other teams around them to start trying to get the consistency level and the mentality right to try and take them on in the playoffs.
The only worry for CSK is what was happening with MS Dhoni's back. And that's a concern because his back has been acting up, right? Probably not worried that much about from an India perspective because the World Cup is, a good 7 weeks away. And he's going to be right as rain when that comes. He's a strong guy. But, I mean, even if he misses 1 or 2 games, suddenly you're going, all right, he can afford to. But would he? Because the team's at 14 points.
Look, he may do. He may say, look, I can afford to take a week off and get this 100% right again. And if they look at Sam Billings for Shane Watson, he can keep. So there's no issue with that either if that's the case. So that's the way they want to go. And just bring in another of their local batsmen to replace Dhoni and just put Billings in at the top order, replaces Watson, he keeps, and then not much damage done. Look, they would miss MS like nothing else if he didn't play a couple of games, the captaincy. But they've got international captain there as well, in Faf du Plessis. They've got experience of Jadeja and Raidu and these guys. They've got plenty. Suresh Raina, he'd probably captain the side, I would imagine, Suresh. But they've got so much experience in and around that group that they will miss him as a genuine leader and as a batsman, but he could afford to miss a couple of games if he was a little bit niggly and needed a day or two off.
Yeah, and the one thing we learned today about the DRS, the Dhoni review system, it only works when he's behind the stumps. It's in front of it, perhaps not as much. All right, well, that sort of wraps it up. We do have somebody, the leaderboard, by the way, you guys will be happy. It's a 350 plus. We've got a 350 plus on the leaderboard. The super team hero on MPL is Kulvinder Singh, 354.4. There you go. He's done well. Congratulations to you, Kulvinder. 354. We're happy. We're happy with that. We'd be even happy if somebody got a 400, but I'm not trying to rain on your parade, Kulvinder. 354 is acceptable.
Yeah, very, very good.
Very good.
Good performance. That's steady. That's a little 65, 70 not out.
He's got Imran Tahir.
Yeah.
Suresh Raina.
Probably does. Maybe Jadeja.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. If he had Faf du Plessis, 4 catches. Yeah, he's in the game. But Kulvinder's not telling us his secrets, so we're just guessing here. But anyway, we in case you didn't do well on MPL Super Team, you also have Pro Cricket, you have Run Out, you have those as well. But take part in Super Team. Do it again. We have another game coming up right now. So put up your Super Team. This is how you can do it. Here are the instructions on the screen. And let's see if you can get up on that leaderboard with Kulvinder. We'll give you a shout out by the end of it. All right, let's move to the second game. Today, that's Sunrisers Hyderabad, who are hosting the Delhi Capitals. And some interesting things have happened, gentlemen. First of all, Sunrisers Hyderabad have won the toss and they've decided to chase. Might just be a good thing for Delhi. Liberates their young batting lineup. Just say, come on, just go out, just have some fun.
Well, if you look at Delhi's last performance in Calcutta, where they chased down a decent target, Shikhar Dhawan, they'd have loved to have chased. Gets better, and I think Warner and Bairstow, we've seen, apart from the Mumbai Indians chase, which went dreadfully wrong, they've liked looking at targets, chasing down targets. So no surprise that they've gone with the bowling first. It's very popular over the last week or so that the chase has been the way to win games of T20 cricket in this year's IPL. It wasn't the case in the first 10 or 14 games. It was
12 out of the last 15.
7-7, wasn't it?
12 of the last 15 won by the team.
So the chase is back being popular. So no surprise that Sunrisers have. And Kane Williamson's back.
Yeah, Williamson's back and
Changes
a homecoming for Schicker.
Yeah.
A homecoming for Schicker. He will want to prove a point again today. Yeah. He was very good in that last game. Back in form. I mean, class is permanent, form's temporary. They always say that. He was back in form. Looked so good in that last encounter. So for him to go back to Hyderabad and maybe put a performance on the board against a team that didn't want to pay him the money. That's why he left. They had 4 guys in front of him in the pecking order. And he wanted more money. They said no, so they traded him. And he will want to put a performance on the board against them tonight.
Yeah, he will. Let's have a look at the Delhi team. See if they made any... the Hyderabad team first. What are we showing, guys? What are we showing? We're going to Delhi? All right, Delhi's batting first, so let's show their team. You got a sneak peek of Hyderabad in there, but here, Colin Munro. My favourites are playing today. Colin Munro is in. I'm a big fan of him. The top 3 are looking solid. They want Prithvi to get some runs. You've got Colin Ingram, who's gone back to South Africa. I think after yesterday's Joy Factor questions, probably gone hello to say hello to his grandparents, missed them. We're talking about that in the question. Amit Mishra comes in. He's played in Hyderabad a fair bit as well, so probably knows these conditions. There's still Chemo Paul there. And no Trent Bolt.
Interesting. Yeah. After the other night, I thought one thing that you will notice on that left-hand column, 4 left-handers.
Yeah.
Of 6. So do the Sunrisers have they brought an off spinner in? We'll note that in a minute when they've
dropped
bring
one.
Their team up. But gone.
Yes.
Nubby's gone. So 4 left-handers in the top 6 in that side. How will they juggle those guys around? Will Shreyas stay at 3? Will Munro come to 3? Will they maybe open with Munro and Schicker and move Prithvi Shaw down 1? I don't know. There's all sorts of options. Colin Munro's got 3 T20 international hundreds.
Yeah.
Only Rohit Sharma is better than that in world cricket. His stats are phenomenal in T20 international cricket. Can he replicate that at the IPL? He hasn't quite done that as yet, but his position is at the top of the order.
Yeah, but so realistically, he could only be 3, and then Shreyas comes 4 and Rishabh 5.
I think if Munro doesn't open, I'd prefer to see him at the back end.
Oh, yeah?
At maybe 6, 5 or 6, to say you don't have too many options, much like at the top. Go out there and play some shots. Yeah. It's a tough one for them to decide on, but if he doesn't open, I'd probably rather see him at 5.
Ooh, interesting. All right, I think we'll come back to Delhi because we have to talk about Hyderabad because Hyderabad has done something they don't do very often. They've made 4 changes.
What?
That's right, 4 changes. So Kane Williamson comes in for Mohammad Nabi. We thought that, hey, who's been talking about Ricky Bowie and Abhishek Sharma for the last 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Who?
Correct.
It's me. Yeah. Well, it's a harsh call, I can imagine, for them to drop Manish Pandey and Yusuf Pathan. But you knew it was probably coming. Khalil Ahmed's played a fair bit of cricket for India, was not getting a look in, has come in place of Sid Kaul. Wow, en masse changes.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing, I know Mohamed Nabi misses out and he's been very good, but having the skipper back, Kane Williamson, he's an outstanding leader.
Yeah.
They'll be galvanised by having him back out there, just marshalling the troops. He's clever, he's smart. He'll be 2 or 3 overs ahead all the time in his mindset when he's out in the middle. So as much as they'll miss the expertise of Nabi, particularly with the 3 left-handers that Dooley had mentioned, I just think it's a 15% sway by having Kane Williamson back out there in the middle.
Yeah.
Also, it allows David Warner and Johnny Bairstow a little more freedom if one of them does get out. What we've seen with Warner, I think, in the 2 occasions that Bairstow's got out early, he didn't know what to do because he didn't have Williamson in behind him. He felt enormous amount of pressure to hold that batting order together. Well, with Williamson at 3, and if Bairstow gets out early, then Warner can keep going because he can trust Williamson, or Bairstow can keep going because he can trust Kane Williamson. So that makes a big difference in that front. But I mean, it's a good call. It's not. I don't think it's a brave call. Manish Pandey's been awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good call. It's not brave. It's just, mate, you're out of form. You're not playing well. You're not winning us games.
Fresh minds are always dangerous. When you're sending players, all right, they've not played the cricket out in the middle, but the minds are completely fresh. They've got no baggage from previous failures with the 2 players, the 2 batsmen in the middle. I've had so many failures of late. Yusuf Pathan just gets out playing the sweep shot pretty much every occasion. So why not send out a couple of fresh faces with no baggage whatsoever in this year's IPL?
His name would go down well in Yorkshire, wouldn't it? Ricky Bowie.
Yeah.
Go on, Ricky Bowie.
Go on, boy.
All right, boy.
Ricky Bowie. Ricky Bowie, it's so interesting because there's Shikhar Dhawan, there's Amit Mishra. They've played in Hyderabad before. But for Hyderabad, there is Vijay Shankar and Abhishek Sharma, who were traded for Shikhar Dhawan. They were with Delhi, and that was the trade, and they're here now. So there's obviously so much confusion. I don't know who's walking into the home room, who's walking into the visiting dressing room, they're colliding into each other. No, you go that way, you go that way. But that's the beauty of the IPL. That ends up happening a lot. So, of course, with the Delhi batting lineup, there's the question of where you fit Colin Munro in. Used to playing top of the order for New Zealand, super successful over there, but they're not going to break up Prithvi Shaw and Shikhar Dhawan for sure. It doesn't look like they're breaking that up.
No, I don't think so, and neither they should.
Yeah.
But it's just where does he fit in? He's coming in for Colin Ingram, and I guess, Vaughan, you'd know more than me about that fact. If he's coming in for a player, you just put him into that spot. You don't upset the rest of the apple cart. Is that how you would see it as a skipper?
Yeah, particularly because they've won a couple of games. You know, they actually have played well throughout the whole IPL, apart from that one chase where they flapped against the Kings 11. Yeah, but I'd just lob him in the middle and float him. You know, you just float him around when you want someone to go out there. He's a good striker of a cricket ball. You know, it might be that he comes in at 6 and he's used in those last 4 or 5 overs to try and climb it into the stands.
And I think if you lose one in the first 2 or 3 overs, send him in.
Yeah,
because he's used to opening anyway.
Yeah,
and he's used to that field restrictions being being on. So maybe if you lose a wicket in the first 2 overs, he's padded up and he goes out. And if they get through the power play, maybe Shreyas Iyer still goes out at 3. Maybe that's the way they look at it.
Maybe that's how. So what happens today is if Hyderabad does indeed win, then that traffic jam, that middle muddle gets even muddlier. Is that a word?
Like it, muddier.
No, but it's a middle muddle. So it's not muddier. It's middle muddlier.
Yeah. It's like that intersection we go through every time we come to the studio, the one around the racecourse there.
That's not a middle muddle, that's a black hole.
Yeah, it's got I think there's 5 roads going off it.
Yeah.
And it's just there's 3 traffic cops in the middle of that road.
Yeah.
And they're all waving in different directions.
That's right.
And you just sort of, what I find is everybody just races to the middle and then picks their road and tries to go.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, it's organised chaos.
Yeah. It's just everyone going. All the cops are just going. I think the cops are just having fun.
Yeah, they're just
it's like
waving their
you
arms.
there in your expensive car. Come on, now you stop. And you come as well. Now you guys sort it out.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens.
Brilliant, I
but
love
today, by the way, that could happen if Colin Munro and Rishabh Pant start batting together.
Ooh.
Right? Look at that. And if they get going, I mean, it's, the odds on that are not very high that they both pair together and they both get going. But if they did, I'd love that. Can you imagine a competition between 2 left-handers? Ooh, I'm hitting it there. Oh, I'm going to hit it further. Oh, I'm hitting it even further. Oh, okay, let me not jinx it.
Munro gives them a bowling option too. Remember, if it's a bit slower, he gives them a little bowling option. He's been working really hard on just bowling those little off-cutters, a bit like what Scott Styris used to do for New Zealand, that sort of thing. Just coming in off a reasonably long run and bowling little off-cutters, off-pace delivery. So if it slows up, he's an option there as well with the ball.
I'm really surprised that Prithvi Shaw has not come in with his gentle leg cutters because he was practicing them in Australia when he was supposed to play the Test series. It's probably with his ankle. That ankle was gone bad for a couple of months and he's come back now. Probably still doesn't have that confidence, but we'd like to see it. You never know. All right, listen. It's the MPL Super Couch time. Can Michael Vaughan make it 4 in a row? I don't think so, man. Nobody gets that purple a patch. It's impossible. Should we let him go first, Dooley?
Yeah, what are we doing? Score prediction?
Yeah, let him go first.
I'm going to go 162.
Ah, come on. Poof, poof, poof. That's too low. It's not getting it.
There's been some good scores at Hyderabad, haven't there? There's been some high scores. I'm going to go 193.
201. What? There's been a 198. There's been a 231 at this ground.
Kane Williamson's back. He's the skipper.
He's not going to let it happen.
No,
He's not bowling though.
but he's smart.
Yeah.
He knows how to play his cards like MS Dhoni. He knows how to manoeuvre his troops.
I mean, Delhi.
We will see.
Yeah,
The Delhi batsmen
See,
have a bat
polishing
in
the
their hand.
balls.
So,
We'll see.
they have a bat in their hand.
Yeah, they have. Well, I hope so. They're confident if they go out there without.
You never know. Should we just check the Ashes if they have enough bats as well? It'll be a game of virtual cricket. Everybody just dancing. All right, well, we're going to dance out of here now and we're going to come back in the 10th over with Cricbuzz Combox. Thank you so much for watching. MPL presents Cricbuzz Live. Adios.